Welcome to another episode of the Wolf Talk podcast. This episode brought us to the heart of Bordsley Green, to the East Side Boxing Gym. We've got a special guest giving up some of his time during his camp to come and speak to us, Tyler Rivers. Thank you for coming on, Tyler.
Thanks, man. Thank you for coming.
I know you're busy in camp. How long out are you now?
So I fight on the 31st this month. So I think we just got just under 3 weeks now. So last couple hard weeks coming up, and then I usually start tapering off on the week. And big performance on the 31st.
Where's that at?
It's at the Birmingham Airport Holiday Inn. So yeah, man.
How are you feeling about it?
Ready, man. Yeah, like I've not boxed. To be honest, I've not boxed since last March. I lost my last fight, and then I was in prep for my next one. Then I got injured.
So it's been a year.
So it's been a year since I last boxed. But since I've made the changes, moving gym and just upping my training, I'm just feeling 110% ready for this next one now. Confident going in. I know I've pulled out all the stops that I need to do. So yeah, can't wait. I'm excited.
I seen on your last fight, your loss that you did take was against someone from a higher weight category.
Yeah.
How did that end up coming about?
To be honest, I think it was a late replacement kind of thing. My manager just sent me it, and I just said, yeah, whatever. I've always been one to never really turn down a fight or try and look at all the ins and outs of what could happen. And I'll just take the fight, man.
So you mentioned management. Is it the management that are literally picking your fights for you?
Yeah. So my manager will sort all my fights for me. This fight is a bit different because training here, John's put me on his show. So I don't know. I think John and Carl are working together, but usually Carl, my manager, will sort all my fights out, and the shows that are in Leicester, I'll sort all that kind of stuff out.
What brought you to this gym?
I just knew I needed a change. I think after losing my last fight, I had a lot of time to reflect, especially whilst being injured. I had a lot of time to reflect on what I needed to change. I feel like things were getting a bit stagnant. I weren't really training as hard as I should be. And I just thought I need to get out of Leicester and try and go somewhere that, one, I'm out of my comfort zone, and two, I'm going to learn. But it was the right thing to do, man, because since I've been here, I've not left this gym once without learning something new. So, yeah, it's the right move for me.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
For them who don't know, you do travel from Leicester to Birmingham every day.
Every day, man.
So you are in here every day?
Yeah, every day. Yeah.
7 days a week, 5 days a week?
No. So Monday morning, Tuesdays. So Monday to Friday, sorry. Sometimes on Sundays I'll come up for sparring. So yeah, 5-6 days a week. I'm in here, man. Yeah.
That's commitment for you. That is commitment.
That is commitment.
Gotta be done.
I've drive many times along the M69.
Yeah.
Why don't we go back to the very beginning then? So we all love a good origin story. Tell us, what is your origin story, man? How did you get into boxing? What age were you? What was the thing that made you? Was you always a fighter as a kid?
Nah. To be honest, I tried a few things as a kid. You know, like the typical football, rugby, whatever. And then I may have watched a Rocky film or something and just suggested to my dad, "Oh, can I try out boxing, Dad?"
How old were you then?
10.
10 years old,
Yeah,
man.
man.
You want to try boxing?
Yeah.
Not many 10-year-olds.
No.
And I think it was like, because I knew I was going into high school as well. I wanted to know how to handle myself, so I just said, "Yeah, I want to try boxing out." So my dad took me down one of the gyms by us. And I think on my first ever session there, I sparred and obviously got my head punched in. But I think from that, then it just fed a desire to just keep on going, and then it just got better and better. And
They made you spar on your first session?
yeah, man.
You said you got your head kicked in and whatever.
Yeah.
That didn't put you off?
Nah, like I said, I think it just fueled something inside of me to say, keep going, man, and just get the fuckers back, basically, yeah.
That was when you were 10. How old are you now?
So I'm turning 25 this month.
Wow.
Yeah, 15 years, man. Yeah.
Boxing,
Yeah.
wow, it's a good story.
Yeah.
We've interviewed a lot of people, and some of the stories that we've heard of people being involved in crime and drugs, and they came from really dodgy backgrounds. That seems to be a common theme in boxing, doesn't it? They come from, what's the word? Stress, difficult upbringing.
Poverty, and
Are you saying that you had a normal, good upbringing where you were never involved in crime, drugs,
nothing, man.
clean guy,
Yeah.
just for love of boxing?
Just a young kid that just wanted to, just try boxing, and then just, I guess you can say, just fell in love with it ever since. Never looked back. I never quit. Just carried on, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's quite a simple origin story, isn't it? We meet so many people who've had these crazy, I went to prison for 15 years and I discovered meditation.
You either get that, don't you, or you get, they've been bullied at a younger age, and that's drove them to it.
Yeah. I think that was part of it, like, part of it was wanting to not get picked on. Like, part of it was wanting to know that if I need to, I can handle myself, and I'll be all right. So I think that was part of it, but no one ever bullied me or anything like that. I was always like breezed through school. I was all right. So yeah, I had a good life basically. Yeah.
No, that's good. It's good to hear a story like that. That's how we normally hear the bad side of the tale.
Yeah, we do, don't we? It's a very simple. Just wanted to box. What was it about boxing, man? I mean, you said that you had a normal upbringing. You were never a fighter as a kid.
No.
You were never into beating people up and having fights. You were good. Were you a good kid at school?
I wouldn't say good kid at school. Like,
normal.
I wasn't interested in school, put it that way. And I was always distracted and knocking about, whatever. I think the year that I took my GCSEs, they took me out of school, I just wasn't interested. I was always a little bit like, I knew I was going to leave school and become a professional fighter. That's what I wanted to do. So I always had that mindset, like, no matter what, I know that I've got something I can do. And yeah, man, I just knew, like, I was never going to be an office worker or whatever, or go to uni. Was never interested in that. All I wanted to do was leave school and fight, get paid to fight, pretty much. And that's what I'm doing, man. So.
Oh mate, you've got a great name, by the way. Tyler Rivers, man. That is your real name, isn't it?
Yeah. A lot of people say that.
Boxing name.
Yeah, a lot of people say that.
Name,
it is. It's
yeah, man.
It's a really cool name.
Thank you.
So once you started at the age of 10, how quickly did things start moving forward in the boxing?
So I started, it was like a little rundown gym around the corner from where I live. There was like trees coming through the ceiling and shit, like old school spit and sawdust gym. It was a bit of like a kind of like a white collar gym. And then I think my dad was talking to someone one day, and they suggested if he wants to take things further, to go to an amateur gym. So then from there I went to a gym called El Shilton Amateur Boxing Club, like a 30-minute drive. So again, I've always travelled to train. My dad used to take me 3 nights a week. So I had my first skills fight, so one that you don't win or lose, just to break you into the mould of being a fighter, at the age of 11. So from the age of 11, I had my first fight.
11 years old,
yeah.
Wow, in a ring.
Literally,
with a score.
Yeah.
How'd you get on?
So a skills bout is like you don't win and you don't lose. So it's just to break you into that sort of environment. I had 2 of them, and then my first one, I think I must have still been 11. My first one I won. I think I won my first 6 or 7. And then I lost in the championships. Yeah, that was it, man. Never looked back since.
Amateur-wise, how many fights have you had?
I had 56 as an amateur.
56 fights, mate. Wow.
56. I won about 40, maybe 42, I don't know. I'm not sure. I've lost one of my old record books, but I'm sure it was around that number.
And what was the amateur scene like? As fighters, good fighters?
To me, it never really suited me because I've always took a round or 2 to warm into a fight. In the amateurs, obviously, you've only got 3 rounds, so if you took a round or 2 to warm into it and you've lost them, you've fucking lost the fight, basically. But it was never really my scene. I was never really that, how can I say it? fast, explosive, amateur sort of point scoring style. I more wanted to hold my feet and pick my shots. So I always knew I'd be more suited to the pro game. That was in school. I knew like as soon as I turned 18, that's it. I'm going to turn pro.
Did you turn pro?
I didn't turn pro until I was 22. I think it was. I think around the time I wanted to turn pro, COVID happened. So I needed a bit. Yeah, I needed a bit of experience. Well, to be honest, my old amateur coaches, they thought I was too young to turn pro at the age of 18, which I probably was. I don't think you're properly mature enough. You're going to be fighting men at the end of the day. But yeah, I left it till 2022, and that's when I knew like lockdown had happened. I'd had a couple of fights before lockdown, and then yeah, I just thought I'm not going to get any younger, so I need to do it now. So yeah, 2022, I turned pro.
What is it that you've said one thing, but what is it that made you follow the professional route? Because it seems to be a crossroads where people get to, and it's either you follow the professional. Yeah. Is it a mindset? Is it a skill set? Is it both?
I was training around pro. There was other professionals in my gym as well, and obviously seeing them fight and earn money and get the sponsors and all stuff like that, it just enticed me to want to do it more and more and more. I always knew I wanted to live this lifestyle. So, and obviously the rewards that come with it if you get your break are second to none. So,
do you feel like you've got your break yet?
No, nowhere near, man.
Nowhere near.
Nah. Hopefully, I get a Saudi call up or whatever, man. Just but yeah, not yet, man. I've only had 6 fights, and I'm still selling tickets. So it's hard, man. It's hard to sell the tickets, and then like, once you've paid your opponent, your manager, all that kind of thing, you're not really left with much. So yeah, you've more or less got to just keep racking wins up and more experience, and then hopefully one day get a call up.
For 3 years, you've made a living out of professional boxing.
Yeah, I got by, man. Yeah, my missus has helped me a lot as well. Yeah, we get by.
You said you've got 3 kids as well, man. That's
3 kids, man.
It's almost your level, John, isn't it? Having 3 kids compared to 25. How's that being with boxing, man? How old are they?
So I've got 2 boys and a little girl. My 2 boys are 8 and 5, and my little girl, she's just turned 4.
Are they into boxing?
My oldest boy is. My other boy, he likes football. And my little girl, she likes watching me train and that, but no, I'll never let her box, man. But don't get me wrong, I'll make sure they all know how to fight. I'll make sure they all know how to defend themselves, because I want them to grow up the same way as I did. Going through school, I don't want them to think, oh, what if this happens and so does this. I want them to know that no matter what happens, they're going to be good in any situation.
Oh, man, what's it like being hard at school, man? Remember the day, you know what I mean? If we go back in time, man, I'd love to get into something like that at the age of 10, 11. I had a cushy upbringing, but being hard at school. John, you were solid at school, man.
No, I wouldn't say that. I've been into martial arts and boxing since I was young. My injuries finished my career off before it ever really got started, so something that I never had to struggle through. But you're saying about going through, for people that are interested in getting involved, how hard is that going through that early stage, trying to scrape by and make money? How hard is it?
Yeah, very, because like I said, like so when you turn pro, you got to pay your license fee. That's about 180, or it might have gone up now, 180 quid. You got to have your brain scans. They're 600 quid.
How often do you have brain scans?
Just once a year.
Once a year?
Yeah, once a year. Brain scans, your medicals, they're about 230, I think. You're looking at a grand and a half before you've even boxed, sold any tickets or whatever. Fortunately, when I first turned pro, I was seeking sponsorship, and I had a couple of businesses that are still with me now that was happy to chip in and help me pay for all that private healthcare. But yeah, I think starting off, if you've not got that support and sponsors and whatnot, it's very hard, because where are you going to find that kind of money from? Besides someone's business in whatever way I can, really, on my fight shorts, my t-shirts, training kit, social media, I'll mention my sponsors in this, just wherever I can to promote them.
Do you want to give your sponsor a plug now if you want to for the camera?
Yeah, I'll have to get my list up, man, because I've got
You've got that many?
Yeah, I've got quite a lot, man. Big shout out to Prem Floor UK, All Star Paintworks. Who else we got? Joe Monk Paintless Dent Removal, Neil Burke Joinery, Connect Sports Massage, the Athletic Campus, that's my strength conditioning coach. Empire Pro Tape, they sort all my gloves and tape out, bandages and whatnot, keep my hands safe. Yourself, Nature Wolf CBD. Luke Leicester, you know the clothing brand Luke?
Yeah.
So they've got the High Cross store in Leicester, they sponsor me as well, so they just sort me out with clothes and whatnot, training bits and that. Wigston Car Breakers and the Ed Bilby Box Cup. But yeah, all them people that play a massive part to support me in my career, thank you.
Do you think, being a young fighter, do you think you could have got by without them? Did you have much support from family? You said your missus.
Yeah, my missus, she's always supported me financially and emotionally, whatever. But I think having 3 kids as well, to fork out, over $1,000 before I even sold a ticket, it would have made things. Probably would have been able to do it, but it would have made things harder, and maybe in the longer run, might not have got going as soon as I would have liked to.
So to all local business owners, get involved and start sponsoring the fighters.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Make things a bit easier for them.
Yeah, 100%.
So, just about your boxing career, man, how smooth has it been to date? Now, we know of one incident that happened, and we're going to talk about that in a minute if you don't mind.
Yeah.
But so far, would you say it's been a smooth run? Are you where you want to be now?
No, definitely. I'm always looking to improve, and I'm not greedy, but I just want to make the absolute most out of it. I think it boils down to having a family and the amount of years I've put into it. I just feel like
15 years.
I just feel like I'll never not be happy, but I'll just keep going until I've reached a certain point where I can call it a day and hang my gloves up, man. But yeah, I want to make my money out of it and win titles and whatnot.
I think, like, when you hear it, 15 years already and still going, it sounds like a long time, but when you sit back and look, it does fly by.
Years flew by when you were a kid. So
exactly,
how many years, really? If you say you only went to probably lockdown, you could say you've been in 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
That's how long it feels like. 3 years?
Yeah. I'd say so. My amateur career flew by, man. Definitely. More or less blinked and it was gone, sort of thing.
You got to make as much money as you can in a short period of time.
Yeah. It's a short-lived career, man. I think most fighters, they probably retire around the age of 30 to 35-ish. I know there's a few that have gone past that, but I'd like to keep all my brain cells, man. So
yeah, I don't think you're ever the same after
some ages. As soon as I can get out of the game, make my money.
So you will get out of the game. We've met loads of boxers, man. It never leaves them.
Yeah, no, I don't think it will.
A local guy who's turned now to bare knuckle.
Bare knuckle now, yeah.
I think I'll always have something to do with boxing, whether that be training other fighters or helping out in the amateur clubs. But I don't know, man. As much as I love fighting, I know that it will come to a point one day where I'll have to knock it on the head and say, do you know what, that's enough. And it'll probably be my missus or someone that has to tell me to stop, because I don't think I'll be able to stop myself.
No, I think once you're bred a fighter, I think you always want to fight, don't you? You need that outside support to say enough's enough, whether it be your coach, your wife, you've got to have that. Otherwise, you'd say you'd quit, but another challenge would come and you can't turn the challenge down. It's bred into you.
That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
As I said, I don't know much about boxing myself. John, you're the expert, but I have done a little bit of research, and John told me about the incident that happened, man, which is when John told me, it's quite a shocking thing to hear. Are we okay to talk about that and tell people what happened? Because what happened in the ring to you,
I think
you do hear it happening.
Yeah, it's not a nice subject, but it is part of boxing.
Yeah.
And for all the youngsters growing up, they need to realise what is involved
Yeah,
with
yeah.
boxing.
Yeah,
So I think what you're referring to, I think it was that 2017.
yeah, 2017. Yeah.
And what exactly happened then?
So basically, it was a title fight got made for the East Midlands region title, and I boxed Ed before. His name's Ed Bilby. I boxed him before, um, and this fight in particular, I don't know whether he was struggling with his weight or what, but basically he was drastically cutting weight. Sauna suits, hot baths, not eating, not drinking, just completely drying himself out to make weight. And we had the fight, good fight, toe-to-toe action for 3 rounds. I didn't take a step back, he didn't take a step back. And just as our hands was about to get raised, he kind of collapsed. Like I said, I don't want to try and say what happened because I'm not 100% sure. I've never really liked to have read into it or whatever, but I'm sure his heart packed in, and he passed away later on in hospital.
Wow.
I think it was due to not having enough water, something like that. Like I said, I never really wanted to read into it and relive that, but I am getting better at talking about it. And if there's any kids out there like that I see that are doing that kind of thing, like cutting weight like that, I'll try and steer them in the right direction and just try and give them the right advice.
Is there anything that could change within the boxing world that could help situations like this?
I think just
like the weights?
Yeah, I think the weights. I think on especially for professionals, it's a bit different. Look at Chris Eubank, the way he was cutting weight the other day. It's not healthy, but I don't think that will ever change. But I think for the amateurs, they're only kids. You should only be able to lose a certain amount in a certain amount of time, whatever. But yeah, no, it's
Just
not.
to reiterate, you had a fight with someone. As the winner was about to be announced, your opponent collapsed, was rushed to hospital, and you later died. When did you find out?
Yeah, he passed away.
Yeah.
I think as soon as he collapsed, I knew it wasn't going to be good news.
How did you feel, man? I'm sorry to read this.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
I don't know how much healing you've done on this. Basically, what I want to know is what kind of effect
does that have on you?
Did he have on you
as a fighter? Because obviously, we know for the family, it's a horrific effect.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think anybody ever focuses in on the fighter standing the other side.
Yeah, no. I'll be real with you, man. After that happened, I did pack in for a few months, just a few months. I never really had any, what do you call it, therapy about it. I never really spoke about it to anyone. Just kind of got on with it on my own. I don't know, I was always just a bit like, deal with it myself kind of thing.
Did you ever think this is it, or I can't do it anymore? Or
yeah, I did. And then I don't know what happened. I think one day I just thought, you need to fucking get back in the gym, man, because he wouldn't have wanted me to just pack up and quit. So now every time I get in the ring, I think about him as well. I think like when I fight, I'm fighting for the both of us. So yeah, man. No, it's good.
I say it's a horrible subject, but there's a lot of youngsters out there that
have been through that. I mean, wow. As I said, you don't know exactly what happened. You're not a doctor, but I mean, you died after having a fight with you, man. Like, did you feel guilty yourself? Obviously, you both make your own mind up. You both went to the fight.
Yeah.
You know the risks. This is boxing.
Yeah.
Did you feel guilty? Did you? Obviously, it's not your fault.
Yeah. I think I did at first because I wasn't sure on what had happened. But even today, I still speak to his mom and his brothers. They're all cool, man. Best people ever.
He never held it against you.
No, never, not once. No, never, not once. I'm sure I spoke to his mum a couple of days after it happened. they've all been very supportive. But I never really felt. I did it first, but then as I got told what had happened and more reassurance I got, I dealt with it better. But I still couldn't help but feel like, why did that have to happen? You know what I mean?
Do you think there could be any more rigorous? I know there's testing in boxing and tests you have to go through, but do you think they could be a bit more rigorous, or do you think certain things are just going to slip by forever?
I think it has got better. On the night, there wasn't no paramedics. It took them 17 fucking minutes to get to the venue. Wasn't no defibrillators, is it?
Yeah.
Wasn't none of that there. Now at every show, there's paramedics, there's defibrillators, so that changed a lot for amateur boxing. As far as the weight cuts go, I think it's because it's all done behind closed doors. It's hard to sort of track what's going on.
It's more of a personal thing, isn't it?
I think it's just a good job now that them kind of procedures are put in place. You've got the paramedics there. Everything's sort of there just in case anything did go wrong. They've got the best chance at saving someone's life.
That's good. That's good.
You managed to bounce back from that.
Mm-hmm.
You said that was in 2017, so a lot of time has gone. You said you still think about it every day. You fight for yourself. And Ed.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I think I was just stood one day, might have been having a beer, and I just thought, what the fuck am I doing, man? I need to get back in the gym. This isn't what he would have wanted. It's not me anyway. So I just thought, get back on it and just try your best, man, and that's all I can do. So yeah, it's good, man.
Going forward, you said you started your professional career during the COVID time. I don't even know if we're allowed to mention COVID now, or we'll get put off YouTube.
Yeah.
How hard was that? And what did that all entail with everything being shut down?
I didn't start it in the car. I was like going towards it. I'd say like I'd had enough of amateur boxing, and I was going towards turning pro. So I wasn't training obviously as I am now. But COVID, I don't know, man. I just never really took much notice of it. I just carried on as normal. I was still training. I was still sparring.
At home? Maybe training at home?
No, there was a gym in Leicester. Yeah, a gym in Leicester, man. Because if you were professional, you were still allowed to train because it was classed as your job. So we just ran with the narrative that I was turning professional. So it basically was my job. But yeah, it was good, man.
Wow. And you've got an upcoming fight, and this is being billed as a comeback because, as I said, you haven't fought since March 2024, is that right?
Yeah, March, yeah.
So you've been out the ring, well, not out the ring, it's been training, but you haven't had a professional fight.
No. Since then,
over a year. Yeah. That's a long time in boxing.
Yeah.
And tell us about your opponent. How much you know about him? Did you do research on your opponents? Did you just focus on yourself?
Not
a cliche, you know your opponent, or are you just focusing on your own game?
Yeah, pretty much. Like at this stage, like I just adapt to whatever's in front of me on the night. Like it can get changed last minute, or whatever. I could look at a video of him boxing, and he might box completely different on the night. So more just a case of I just adapt to whatever's in front of me on the night and just do the job.
What kind of fighter, what style do you think you bring?
How I fight?
Yeah.
I'd like to say tactical and pick my punches, but I can mix it up and I can stand there and have a fight with someone as well, like no problem. I can do that. I'm actually more comfortable doing that, standing toe to toe with someone and having a fight, if needs be. But I'll always try and box my way into the fight first. And if things get ugly, man. So don't bother me. Yeah.
So you're ready for whatever the fight brings.
Yeah.
Just tell everyone when the fight is, how they can watch it.
How they can get tickets if there's any still.
So tickets, you can message me on my social media platforms. I can have at Tyler Rivers BXR on Instagram, same on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. or Facebook. I've got a page, Tyler Rivers Professional Boxer. And yeah, I can either meet you if you're local, or I can post the tickets out. They're £40 each, and it's at the Birmingham Airport Holiday Inn. Yeah.
Oh, man. So exciting. And when exactly is that?
It's the 31st of May. First fight, I think, starts at 8 p.m. So.
And one more question: who has been the inspiration in your boxing career? Do you look up to any pros? Are there more closer people to you? You mentioned your dad. Did your dad box?
No, he didn't box.
He didn't box, but he got you into it,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Inspiration-wise, I'm not sure. I think like it's good being around all these lads, because most of them have won titles, and like Sam, for example, Sam Eggington, he's at the same weight I am. Looking at what he's done in boxing, he's won more titles than I've had fights. So yeah, no, it's good being around these kind of lads. But inspiration-wise, I think I just take bits from everyone and just aspire to do the same as what these lot have done. But yeah, it's good, man.
That's great. So anybody that wants tickets, hit Tyler up.
Yeah.
Any local businesses want to put some money in for sponsorship, hit Tyler up. And thank you for coming on the podcast and giving us your time, and we hope all goes well with your fight.
Nice
Best
one.
of luck, mate. Tyler, thank you, man.
Thank you.
Enjoyed meeting you.
Thank you, man.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.